in Business. And the Women in Business Awards were held very recently. And joining us is actually the CEO of the Women in Business Initiative, that is Mary Mudhoni. She's talking to us from our City Centre studios. And we're going to be joined by her. We'll talk a little bit about some of the challenges that women face in the workplace, as well as exactly what is going on when it comes to the challenges they're facing and how they can overcome these. Also, what was the focus of the awards this time around? Because, of course, 2019, they have been talking a lot about women who've contributed to the Big Four agenda. So, Mary, I hope that you're able to get me clearly now and that we can just dive right into this conversation, because the first thing I'd obviously want to know is what inspired you to set up these awards in the first place?
Thank you very much. I'm very grateful, first, to be hosted in this show and to talk about women in business and women in business awards in general. First and foremost, we have to quick note that there are very many challenges when women are doing businesses. Access to finance, access to information, access to markets. And more so, sometimes the policies are not very favorable, and especially when we come to intercounty trading because of multiple licenses being charged at the county. And just like when I was watching news, I've seen also non-payment of suppliers. Those are some of the challenges that women in business are facing in general. And at the end of the year, we always say sometimes it's good to pat somebody on the back and tell them, hey, you have done well. And this is exactly what we are doing for the women in business. Over the years, we have seen women toiling from being mothers, being wives, being entrepreneurs. And many a times is when you realize at the end of the day, you've worked so hard, but it becomes a cycle. So we want to break that cycle. Because we know we have seen women breaking the ceiling. We have seen women even breaking the concrete walls. But there comes a time when we need to tell them, congratulations. And this is the time. And we've already done it, and we are going to continue doing it.
Absolutely. Thank you for that, Mary. And when it comes to policies, particularly pertaining to women in the workplace, what sorts of government policies do you see that need to be put in place for it to spur equality in the corporate space?
I look at issues. Women have very many responsibilities. Remember, they are child bearers. Women are taking care of the whole community and society and families. So we need policies that are really touching on the issues of childbearing, issues of families that can make them comfortable and confident while doing their duties. For instance, many a times is when you find women when they go on maternity leave, they will just stay for 3 months and then they are called back to work. Sometimes it's very hard when you're supposed to have an exclusive breastfeeding period and you're called back to work and you're forced to do it artificially and leaving it in bottles and in the fridge. I mean, it's not a very good thing. So maybe we could have policies that expressively give more time, including even up to 1 year of leave to just take care of the children. And again, also, sometimes we also need to extend this to the family and think about the people who are getting affected by you being away or being around them.
Okay, we actually also asked this on Twitter. What are the biggest issues facing women in the workplace? And there's somebody, Hillary, who actually said harassment is one of the biggest issues that women do face in the workplace. Through some of your work, what can you say in terms of the harassment that women face in the corporate space today?
One of the things that I usually recommend is we have systems and we have offices, institutions that are there specifically to take care, because that's a crime. I mean, that is something that is not supposed to happen. And I always say if our government could come into play to ensure that there are more funds that are distributed going down to the pyramid to ensure that there's capacity building for women to get to know when they're getting harassed and where they are supposed to go and get helped. Because sometimes women get harassed at the workplace and they do not know which institutions are supposed to take care of them. So in one way or another, there's a lot of capacity building that needs to be done, really. And also to ensure that there's more, there's a harsher treatment for the person who is doing the harassment.
All right. Thank you so much for joining us, Mary, and for speaking to us on Business Today. All right. Well, that was the CEO
Thank you so much, too.
and President of WiB, Mary Muthoni, talking about women in the work.